Hey everybody, Elena Yee here. I'm here with Brandon Terrell.
Hello.
Earlier this week, Nvidia announced their Shield console, which is basically a smart TV, a game console, and a supercomputer all in one. Thing is, most of us, at least here at IGN, already have at least one, if not multiple, of those things. So I'm really curious, how do you feel about this? Do you think that there's going to be a solid place for this in the market?
So, I mean, on paper, it looks like a really impressive machine, right? It does a lot of things. It's got a fairly attractive price point at $199. You get the console, comes with the controller. I just don't know if it really provides enough really versatility in a space that's already pretty crowded. So, if you want a game console, you know, is this going to pull the console fans away from their Xboxes and their PlayStations? If you want a smart TV, is it going to pull you away from your $100 Apple TV or your $100 Amazon TV, right? You know, I think the one big thing that it's got going for it is the fact that it's also supported by Nvidia's infrastructure, which they've created. You know, the cloud supercomputer bank that they have supporting it, so you can stream games instantly with a click of a button purchase. And we saw that happen, right? Like they purchased a game and it booted up instantly. So theoretically, you could play your games half hour before everyone else does. But you know, I think with their subscription service, which maybe you want to share a little bit about, and that server bank, I think the infrastructure might be what really is the appealing factor in this.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, you know, during like press conference or hands-on with it, you know, it's this really interesting piece of equipment to me because it's this supercharged Android set-top box, essentially. Runs Android TV, you know, has all the same functionality, and as you mentioned, you know, you have competing products like, you know, Amazon Fire TV, which is built on Android. You have the Razer Forge TV, which is also running Android TV. And those are $100. That's $100 less than what you would pay for the Shield. On the other hand, you have like these other consoles, like actual consoles that everybody, you know, here has, which is PlayStation 4, you know, Xbox One, Wii U. And it's like, well, would you really want to switch over to a whole different ecosystem for this? Like, also, if you're on PC, you can actually stream your games from your PC if you have an Nvidia GPU in it to this device.
Using the same subscription.
Right, from Steam. So would you really want to buy Android games on the Shield? Would you want to actually subscribe to their grid streaming service separately? I feel like this is actually targeting a market that's really specific, like people who don't really belong to either one of these camps, but is actually somewhere in between, someone maybe that's just trying to get back into gaming after years of not, you know, having owned a console or even a PC.
Exactly, it's in this really weird little niche, and it's sort of like the middle. It's like this weird middle child, right? Like, it's more expensive than your smart TV if you want a smart TV. It's less expensive than a traditional, you know, the consoles that we see have the majority of the market share right now. So like you said, it's really for that person that, you know, is interested in gaming, maybe doesn't game a whole lot or wants to get back into gaming or start gaming, right? And seeing now this Android console supports a lot of the bigger name games from the last, you know, 5 years or what have you. That's attractive, and at the same time wants that TV functionality, right? But then, you know, would they not just spend a little bit more money to get that console?
Well, I think, and this is for me, like I can actually see some of the appeal, which is, you know, if I wasn't committed to say like I have a lot of hours invested in Xbox.
Sure.
You know, I have all my achievements and my friends are on Xbox Live, but if I had none of that, then like maybe I would think to myself, you know, it is kind of appealing to have something where I can kind of like pick up on different devices as long as I stay within an Android ecosystem. So I could have a Shield tablet for on the go, I could have the Shield like console at home, and you know, it's all cloud saves for the downloadable games through Google Play, so I can pick up wherever I left off there. And then for the grid streaming service, which is subscription based, but one of the perks of that is that because it's in the cloud, I can literally pick up off like the same point where I was on a different device, which I think is kind of neat. Like if I was really mobile, if I was traveling a lot, like it seems kind of like nice to have as a feature.
But I mean, in order to get all that functionality, right, and that cross-play that you can see with other things, you still have to opt into all of that additional hardware, right?
Sure, that's true.
So you're still buying into an ecosystem just like you would buying into, you know, Sony with a PS4 and a Vita, right, to get that.
That's very true. Or, you know, with also their PlayStation TV, which, you know,
Exactly.
kind of serves as a similar function as this.
Exactly. So I'm left to wonder, is this, you know, people who really haven't been in gaming for a while? Is it for PC gamers who want a console that they can just flip their games over to? You know, I need to see more. Like I said, I think the infrastructure, I think Nvidia's new tier of their grid service, which basically allows you, like they build it as a Netflix for games. You know, you can opt in at the 720p 30 FPS tier. You can opt in at the 1080p 60 FPS tier, right? With subscription prices changing there. And you know, play games are on their catalog, and you can also buy new games that they come out and stream them straight from the cloud. So the one thing I will say is that with the Shield being supported by Nvidia's sort of cloud server bank that has all of these GPUs crunching all the graphics, everything is done over on the cloud. It's almost future-proofed, right? Like you can just continue to upgrade the cloud, the performance of the devices in the cloud that really handle all of your processing. So, you know, where in 5 years, if it's time to upgrade again to the Xbox 2 or the PlayStation 5, you know, maybe the Shield console, you're not going to really, you know, need to do that. You just be able to upgrade the cloud.
I mean, in terms of how it all shake out, though, we'll have to wait till May, which is when the console is supposed to release. In the meantime, for everything GDC, Shield, Nvidia, console gaming, and PC gaming, you're right in the right place, IGN.com.